Good afternoon and welcome to This Girl is on Fire. I'm Kathy Connor, your host. For those of you that do not know me, I am the founder and CEO of Go Getter Girls Network. I'm also a paralegal investigator with the law firm of Lytle Writer Smith, Ivy and Fronrath. I am an ebook author, I am a speaker, and I am a world traveler. And today I am super excited to introduce a Go Getter Girl member. She is taking the business world by storm and helping so many. And I'm excited to introduce Caite Corripio, an independent certified Optavia coach. And without further ado, we're going to bring Caite on. Welcome to the show, Caite.
Hi, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. So tell us a little bit about you, what your hobbies are, how you got started in the health journey.
All right. Actually, by trade, I am a CPA. So then ended up in the health and wellness industry. And I think where that started was because I was so busy taking care of everyone else and a company and just being very busy that I was not on the priority list. But, you know, with I'm an overachiever. Some people will say a go-getter, right? But you know, I love to travel. As you just mentioned, you do. That's one of my favorite things: traveling, helping people, and also giving back. They are some of my top priorities right now.
Fantastic. I love it. So how did you go from a CPA to a health and wellness coach?
Well,
This I need to know.
Well, and you know, I never in a million years would have thought that that was in my cards. But what happened was I'm a twin, and my twin sister and I, you know, we kept thinking we you know, you feel like you have it all together, right? You know, we have a, you know, fabulous family, fabulous husband and kids, and you know, everything, jobs, education, and but the one thing that kept eluding us was our health. And I just kept thinking, maybe this is the way it's supposed to be. My dad was overweight, and you know, we take after my dad. I mean, I had all these things in my head, and but one time my sister finally said, you know what, Caite, I heard about this program, and I'm going to try it. And I want you to do it with me. And in the meantime, I was challenged by the CEO of my company to get healthy. So I said, listen, you do your thing. I'm going to do mine. And so I started going to the gym for an hour a day, and I started eating healthy. And the bottom line was within 6 weeks, I was told by I had knee issues. And I was told by an orthopedic that I needed a knee. I was bone on bone, and that I was too young for a knee replacement to just figure it out. And so I went to my primary doctor thinking that my thyroid was out of whack again because I have a thyroid issue. And he actually told me that just looked at me and said, it's not your thyroid. He said, it's what you're eating. And then he said, you know, you're not quite there yet, but you will be soon. And he gave me a pamphlet on gastric bypass. And
Wow.
I remember leaving that office hysterical crying, like, how could my life have come to this? Like, what is going on? And but my sister was still on that other program, and she came to visit me, and she was down 17 pounds in 6 weeks, and her pants were falling off her. And I'm like, whatever it is you're doing, just sign me up. So she became a coach. She still had 80 pounds to go, but she became a coach to coach me so that she could walk with me on a health journey. And we learned together with support of others. So she lost 98 pounds and I lost, over 80 pounds. And what happened was, as we were getting healthier, and it's really from the inside out. And as we were getting healthier, my confidence came back that I didn't realize that I had lost. And people are like, you're glowing. I'm like, what?
You are.
Oh, thank you. But it was just so interesting and amazing that I didn't realize where I was. And with that, as people started asking, will you help me? Will you help me? That's how I really got into this, never expecting that it would be an exit ramp from corporate America, but that's actually what it became. And now what's just so much fun is I get to plan my day. I get to structure my day. I get to work out every day, and it allows me time to do really what I want to do. But I still work, right? But it's around my plan.
Right. Well, you get to make your own schedule, and I think that a health coach is so rewarding, and you see the results in helping other people,
Right.
and you see a confidence boost in them, and so on and so forth. Not only the confidence boost, it's the health aspect of it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So many people think that it's all about weight. It's all about the number in the scale, and that's one piece, right? And the reason that piece is important from the aspect that that's where science shows that so many illnesses or diseases can be kept away, right? So that's why that's important. But it's not just a number on the scale. It's about your strength, right? Building those muscles. It's about your visceral fat around the belly area, right? Those are the three indicators for that health. But it's important to have make sure that you're eating healthy for life and you're drinking plenty of water and that you have a healthy mind, right? That you know how to manage your emotions. And that's a challenge every day. No one's perfect at it, right? But we just strive every day to be a little better.
Let me ask you a question. So, when you're used to eating one way, unhealthy, many of us are guilty of that, myself
Right?
included. And then you transition into developing these healthy eating habits.
That's right.
That's not easy to do.
It's not.
Tell us how do you do it?
Well,
What's the secret?
well, the secret is there is no secret, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that, when we're working with people, what we try to find is why they want to get healthy, right? Because if somebody wants to get healthy because they want to lose 10 pounds to fit into a pair of jeans, chances are that as soon as they fit into those pair of jeans, they're going to go back and have the bagels and the donuts and the pizza, right? Because they had an issue, they solved it, and it's a springboard, right? So our goal is that while they're losing that 10 pounds, whatever, right? It could be 10 pounds, it could be 300 pounds, right? But while they are, while we're teaching them how to eat and they're eating 6 small meals a day, that they are starting to really focus on why. Right. So when my sister asked me, she's like, well, why do you want to do this? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Why? Because look at me, because I was just told that I should consider gastric bypass. But I was going on a plane up to see her. And she said, she's like, Kate, before you get off the plane, I want you to write down why you want to get healthy. And, I did a mental eye roll and I'm like, whatever. But I got on the plane and my first thought was, is the seatbelt going to fit?
Oh.
And that was eye-opening because I didn't realize that every time I got on the plane, that's what I thought. So I pulled out a piece of paper and I was like, I want to get healthy because I don't want to have to worry if I need to ask for a seatbelt extender. I don't want to have to not go to the bathroom because I'm afraid I won't fit down the aisle or I won't fit into the bathroom. I mean, I never went to the bathroom on a plane, no matter what, because I really didn't think that I would fit. So the part of the key is really getting to you can say it's a why that makes you cry. Like what is it so intense? Because that's what's going to help us when somebody says, here, have a cookie. And you're like, gosh, I really want the cookie. Right. And then you're like, no, I shouldn't. Right. And it's not a matter of should or shouldn't, but really taking that moment to stop and ask yourself those questions. Is that cookie, no matter how great it looks, is it going to help me towards my goal? And it's not about perfection, Kathy. So many people think it's all or nothing, and it's never all or nothing. I know that I contend daily, right? Or in other words, I fight daily to make good decisions, right? I hopefully win more than not. But every day it's going to pose different challenges because this is life.
No, you're right. It's the one thing I noticed through my diet journey, I go through periods of time where, I, was on this weight loss, and when I recently had blood work done, and I had I was pre-diabetic, so I knew, okay, I had to do something. So I took other means in the way of doing it. But the one thing I realized is in doing that is, you get in the habit of eating a certain way, and you have more energy, you're thinking clearly, you're sleeping better. And then if I ate a cookie, just that sugar would just get me jittery, and I would feel sick to my stomach, and I don't like feeling that way. So it's definitely a life decision, and it has to be a habit to continue it and continue living that healthy lifestyle, which is difficult. I mean, it is for me. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it is for most of us out there. And it's just, you have to I guess it's all in the mind. Basically, it's a mindset.
So it is all about the mindset, right? And so there's four things that what we teach is, one, as a coach, I walk side by side, right? I mean, I link arms. I'm not the food police. I would never, go up and smack a cookie out of your hands, right? I mean, because you make your decisions, but we link arms and try to help people, right? The second thing is, we teach the habits of health, which it's a transformational system, meaning, that there's a life book, which we teach from, which talks about how to handle and how with addictive foods, because so many of us are addicted to something, right? And some may be like, I don't have any food addictions, but you may have a work addiction, right? But for me, it's sugar. For some, and when I say sugar, candy is a big thing for me. Candy, the cupcakes. Others, it's bread. Others, it may be alcohol.
Chips,
Others,
yeah.
right? Chips. Like people are like, I like the salt stuff, whatever, right? But it's recognizing that, and then starting to identify when that happens, and to stop yourself, right? Because it's catching yourself in the moment. But it's being around a community of people, because they say that you are like the 5 people you surround yourself with. And that doesn't have to be in close proximity, right? So, my twin sister was she still is 1,000 miles away. And, we're the same, right? So it's having that community of support, that's a big one as well. And then learning how to eat for life, eat healthy. So
what are your opinions on exercising, combining obviously the exercise with the healthy eating habits?
exercise.
And what are your recommendations on that?
So, every person's different, right? So I was actually able to lose weight without exercising, which that's why it worked for me, because when I was in my busy day job, I was actually driving 5 hours a day commuting. So plus working
Wow.
10 plus hours. So it was a crazy time. And some people say, oh, you can always fit time in. Well, I couldn't, especially not eating the way I was eating, because I would eat candy the whole way home, and then I would make a bowl of pasta because I had no time to do anything else. And, all I wanted to do was sleep. Right.
But quick and easy.
Right. But what we know, exercise is so important. But here's the thing, you can't out exercise your fork. Exercise alone, it's 80% of it comes from the food you're eating and 20% is exercise, right? So as you start to lose weight and feel better, you start to have more energy. And then, what I say is, hey, when you go to the grocery store, can you park a couple spots away? Right? You don't have to, don't get up and start running, especially if you've never run before, don't run. Right. But maybe you can just walk a little bit extra. If you're going someplace and you see stairs next to an escalator, can you take the stairs? Just little things. But it's so important that strength training, right? Building our muscles, because they say at the age of 30, we start losing our muscle mass. It's crazy, like 8% a decade. So, it's as we get older, building our muscles is important. So that could look like just walking, carrying, 2 to 5 pound weights. Like, once again, it doesn't mean going to a gym and start bodybuilding, right? That's not what it means. But you can do as much as you want, but you can do little strength training. There is, Atomic Habits with James Clear. It's about habit stacking, right? And one of the things that I've done for a long time is, in my coffee pot, when I turn the coffee on in the morning, I have a little Post-it note that says push-ups, and I'll do push-ups off the counter, like just literally off the counter while my coffee is brewing. So
that's
just
a great idea.
things, right? You could do it off the wall, just do push-ups. Like you don't have to drop and do 20. You can just do it off your desk, do it off the wall, do it off a counter. Little things.
Have you seen, I just have to throw this out there because
Yeah.
I thought it was the most amazing invention. There's something, it's almost like a bicycle, but it fits under your desk.
Yes.
So have you seen that?
I've seen it. I don't have one, but I have standing desks, so I stand all day.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good idea. I started doing that as well. I like the
Yeah.
ability to raise the desk so that we can work on it. It's, you know what? It's definitely a tough journey. What I really would like to also hear is, well, first of all, let me say, whoever's watching, if you have any questions, just add your question to the chat and we'll get those questions answered. Or if you have any comments, we love to hear from you, see where you're watching us from. So Caite, tell us about a client that you had in the past that gained the most, I guess is the most rewarding. And it's maybe a client that you, at the top of your head, I'm going to talk about this, him or her, and this was his journey, and these were the results that he obtained through the Optavia program and the coaching.
So we've had several clients who are actually able to come off of their medications for diabetes.
Wow.
And I from compliance perspective, results sound typical.
Well, of course, yeah.
Right. And it's not because of Optavia. It's because they lost weight and they got healthier, right? But to see that, and from them, their perspective, they're like, oh my gosh, like by controlling their health and feeling better, they are able to many times get off of different medications. I've worked with people who actually had no weight to lose. Well, in my opinion, had no weight to lose. They were about a size 2, but to them, they had a few pounds. And so it was very interesting because I was, thinking, really, like, where would you need to lose weight from? But what was interesting is their 10 pounds was my 80. Yeah. But this person actually, she called herself a skinny fat because she had a lot of GI issues, IBS and things, because she wasn't eating healthy. And I was able to help her not only feel amazing, but her GI issues went away because she started eating properly. And that's amazing. I mean, I never drank a glass of water. I was a Diet Coke and coffee girl. And, now I have, I have 2 32-ounce bottles of water with me at all times. So
how much do you recommend someone should, I know it's probably by body weight, how much water they should drink?
Well, no, actually they, to be, I'll say safe, 64 ounces is what's recommended, 8-ounce cups. So 64, there's been different things. They used to say, drink half your body weight in water. They don't say that anymore just because some people took it to extreme. So, but yeah, they recommended amount of 64 ounces. I drink a lot more than that personally, because I know I can. There's some people who struggle with, just from a medical perspective, that they can't.
Right.
So, but 64 is a good number.
Okay. That's actually really good to know. So tell us a little bit about, is it Optavia? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Optavia.
Mamma Mia.
Optavia.
Mamma Mia. Optavia. I love it. Mamma Mia.
That's right.
All right. Tell us about the program and how it works, and just a little bit of insight on the whole program, because I know they have Facebook pages and support groups and coaching services, and it's a well planned out program.
That's right. The program's been around for over 20 years. Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson, he is actually one of the co-founders. He was a critical care physician, and he left the practice because he was operating on people, and he kept operating on the same people. It was all from their health, right, of what they were able to control. So he said, you know what, I want to move upstream. So he actually joined Medifast. When I say join, not with them, but they formed this Optavia component, which has the 4 phases, which is working with a coach. It's learning the habits of health transformational system, being surrounded with a community support, as well as we help people with we call them fuelings, right? A fueling is, and the purpose of calling it a fueling, it's food, right? It's you fuel your body. So we work with people to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours, which 6 times a day. And I remember when someone, I always heard you should eat 6 times a day. I always thought they were crazy because in my head, I'm like, who's going to eat 6 times a day? That's insane, right? But what they're not realizing, you're not sitting down to a bowl of pasta 6 times a day. You're not eating you're not eating a big plate. You're eating, a couple hundred calories. Dr. Anderson, he has a couple books, but he actually recommends breakfast breakfast is really non-negotiable, right? Breakfast is breaking the fast. So if you were just going to do a 1,200 calorie plan, and I would not suggest anything lower than 1,200 calories unless you're on a fat burning plan. But for the average person, it would be, about 300 calories for breakfast, 100 calories mid-morning snack, maybe 200 to 300 in the afternoon for lunch, another 100 calories for an afternoon snack, about 300 to 400 calories for dinner, and then 100 calories snack after that. So you're not sitting down and you're not having a bagel with cream cheese for breakfast, and a smoothie, which that alone could be 2,000 calories.
I've tried their smoothies and they're actually very delicious.
Which ones?
There was one caramel. Is it caramel?
The caramel macchiato?
Yes. And then the strawberry one and the vanilla.
Okay.
Were my favorites. And then the little snacks were good as well.
Right.
I had a coworker there where I got some of her,
Okay.
She gave me some of her little goodies and I was actually amazed.
Yeah.
The food is, it's really, really good.
Well, the thing is they're balanced with protein and carbs, right? And that's one of the things we learn, right? So you're eating healthy for life. You're going to balance your protein and carbs. And I was working with someone and they're like, hey, Kate, they reached their goal and it was so exciting. We started adding back all the different food groups. And she said, hey, can I have these? And she sent me a screenshot of I think it was Nature Valley bar or something. And I was like, wow, actually, no, that's not a great choice. And I was able to take a picture of that nutrition label. And then I went and I got a nutrition label from, I just Googled it, right? A Kit Kat bar and something else. And then the nutrition label from what she thought was a great protein bar was the exact same as a candy bar. So it was a great learning opportunity. Then she found some other ones and I was like, yes. And actually teaching her that, when it has higher protein and lower carbs, how great that is. And carbs are important. Some people think like, oh, if I can just give up the carbs. You can't give up the carbs. We need carbs, right? We need carbs for energy, but you don't need 30 grams of carbs with 2 grams of protein, right? Getting that a little more balanced is important.
That's actually a good segue into my next question. There's, the labels are confusing because what they're doing is they're naming sugars different words that, we may not know what that means. And we think, okay, there's no sugar in here. Can you add more on that?
Well, I take a look at the nutrition label. That's what I do. I look at the carbs, right? So where, especially on, what I'm teaching, we all end up at the end, every person's a little bit different, right? Based on your height, your weight, your age, your activity level, and the fact that you're female versus a male, we calculate it's called a TEE, total energy expenditure. So let's say, Kathy, let's just pretend that you were at 1,500 calories, right? That to maintain your body weight, then, you're looking at everything you're eating, you're taking a look at the nutrition label. One, you're looking at the calories, right? That's because if you were calculated at 1,500 calories a day, and you eat 1,600 calories a day, what do you think is going to happen? Any idea? And let me tell you, 100 calories could be an apple. 100 calories could be a cookie. 100 calories could be 4 Hershey Kisses. Okay. If you eat 100 extra calories a day, you will gain 10 pounds in a year. And I say that because a pound is 3,500 calories. So if you eat extra 100 calories a day, that's 36,500, right?
Yep.
that'll be over 10 pounds a year. And if you said, but it's just an extra cup of yogurt, right? It's amazing. And that's another reason why exercise is important, because the more you exercise, the more you exercise, the more you can eat. But
right. It's difficult. I know for me personally, it's, I grew up a Southern girl, so the fried chicken, the fried green tomatoes. I mean, it's
it's what I've heard it like, you don't understand. I like food. I'm like, okay, we all do, right?
Yeah, we all do.
Right? I'm Italian, I'm Irish, I'm Greek. And like, we all have stuff, right? It's a matter of reworking on the
Yes.
mindset, right? Because there's everything out there at all times. And it's about making the choices to help you achieve your goals.
I love that. That's awesome. All right. So let me touch base on the support that I know that when someone joins, let me get it. Mamma Mia Optavia. I'm going to remember that. That's awesome.
You get quicker at it.
Hold on. I think Laura has oh no, she's just making a comment.
Okay.
So I love the comments, Laura and Leah. Awesome. So I know that they have, Optavia has a great support group. They have Facebook pages, like I said, and there's a lot of support in there. They're the recipes. That's one thing that I did see years ago, were the recipes that were shared, that especially the one that comes to mind that I absolutely love that I did try. And I knew someone that was sharing some of those recipes on Facebook. So one of those recipes was chicken bruschetta. And I thought, I'm not going to like this. And it was absolutely just delicious. So there's really, it's a win-win, in essence of transforming and into that
healthy foods is good
lifestyle. Yeah.
That's right. And, one of the things that we have is we have an app, for our clients, and there actually is an entire section on lean and green. And lean and green just means protein and vegetables. It doesn't have to be green, right? There are other colors of vegetables, of course, but it sounds good, lean and green. And there are so many, there's so many things. One of my favorites now is cauliflower lasagna, which I never ate a vegetable. I mean, I want to be really clear. And I remember when my sister said, and I'm like, what's this lean? I was in a bad mental place. And I was like, what's that? And she was just like, you're going to eat protein and vegetables. And I was like, I don't eat vegetables. And she went, you will. You will. And I was like, huh. And I do. Now I don't go, yum, vegetables. I still don't like them. But I eat them. I eat them every day because it doesn't matter if I like them.
Right.
Cauliflower is amazing too, because it takes on any taste. Right.
But yeah, my favorite is the buffalo cauliflower with the buffalo sauce. I love it.
Okay.
One of my faves. Probably the buffalo sauce is not good for you. I don't know if it is or not.
The buffalo sauce is fine. It's a great buffalo chicken dip. I've just seen the buffalo cauliflower as an appetizer, which are fried. They're not. They're not.
No, this one was baked.
Okay.
But nonetheless, it probably, butter, all that stuff, all bad stuff.
Right,
all right.
Right.
So
better when you make it at home.
Kate, before we wrap up the show, I would like you, if you're okay with it, give us some and our viewers some advice on, and maybe some tips that you'd like to share to someone maybe that is struggling on that health journey, and any recommendations that you may have for them.
If someone is struggling, and I'll just say that I think we're all struggling in some way, shape, or form on a health journey, right? It doesn't mean that you have to be overweight or obese. A study came out and just said 48.9 or 49.9% of all Americans are obese. That number is striking. And we're actually working with children. We're teaching healthy habits to third graders because we're trying to start young. But the advice I would have would be get an accountability partner. talk to someone, do it together, meaning make healthy choices. Let your spouse, your kids, whoever you hang out with, let them know that you're focused on being healthy so that they could support you. Because I really believe that people want to help you. And whether it's, hey, let's just have, some water instead of ordering soda at the restaurant, or let's not order the, baked potatoes with our steak. How about we get a nice salad instead, or some broccoli? But if you work together with somebody, or even from an exercise perspective, get a buddy and go for a walk. You don't have to go start training for a marathon, but doing
Right.
one thing is something.
Great advice. I love that. I like to just share one thing. I travel overseas, and when I was in Slovenia, I will never forget this. Our cab driver told us that they tried to put a McDonald's tried to put stores in Slovenia, and they absolutely refused because of the health aspect. And that was shocking to me because, I mean, literally there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken across the street from the Sphinx in Egypt. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Which is it's all over. And I never knew the magnitude of, the US based chain restaurants, and what's happening over there. And I think that actually, in my opinion, pays or attributes a great deal to the health problems and the weight problems. And not only that, it's the food portions, you like back in the old days, the food portions were so much smaller versus now they're like Jethro plates, it's like,
that's right.
You have so much food on the plate.
That's right. One of the things that we suggest is, going to a 9-inch plate, which I used to think was the dessert plate, a 9-inch plate, and you split it in 25%, 25% protein, 25% healthy grains, 25% fruits, 25% vegetables. And if you wanted to have that whole side, that whole half, all vegetables, great, but not all fruit. Fruit, although it's great for you, it also is very high in sugars and carbs.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have to watch the quantity of fruit you eat.
Right. All right. Let me put your contact information up on the screen. I encourage everyone, take a screenshot of Caite's information, phone number 561-797-0554, or you can email Caite at the email address listed at Gmail. And I know Caite always available for any questions anyone may have. And Caite, I appreciate you. You do look absolutely amazing. I've known you a long time. And when they say you're shining, you truly are shining.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to put you backstage and I'll be right with you.
Okay.
All right, awesome. All right. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. I love it. And I get excited every time I have a go-getter girl on the show that is just rocking it, helping others in the true essence of a go-getter girl. So it's absolutely amazing. In any event, reach out to Caite. Her information is on the screen. And with that, I hope you all have a great time. Until next time, make it a great day.